Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Mahārāja's message is your advantage. The following is a Caitanya Leela compilation given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Mahārāja on January 1st, 2022 in Sri Mayapur, India.
Pangon Langayate Girim
Yati Satavan Mande
Sri Guru Bhinatharinam
Paramananda Vādava
Sri Caitanya Ishwaram.
Hare Om Tat Sat.
Om Tat Sat. So, my dear devotees, today we are reading from the Sri Kṛṣṇa Caitanya Compilation class, and today's chapter is entitled as All Classes of Men, Ātmārāmas, Munis and Nirgranthas must engage in the service of the Lord. Under the section, the 61 explanations of the Ātmārāma verse, Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 24, text 283.
এই পর্যন্ত 26 প্রকার অর্থ এই আর তিন অর্থ গণনাতে পাইল এই দুই অর্থ মিলি 26 অর্থ হইল.
In this way, we have found three more meanings of the Ātmārāma verse. Combine these with the other meanings, and the total number of meanings adds up to 26 in all.
Lord Caitanya is going on with his explanations of the Ātmārāma verse.
Lord Caitanya is going on with his explanations of the Ātmārāma verse.
Sanatana Goswami is listening.
And Sanatana Goswami is listening. Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 24, text 284.
26 প্রকার অর্থ ব্যতিরিক্ত স্থূলত বিবিধ অর্থে সূক্ষ্মত 32 প্রকার অর্থ। আর অর্থ শোনো যাহা অর্থের ভাণ্ডার স্থূলে দুই অর্থ সূক্ষ্মে 32 প্রকার.
There is yet another meaning, which is full of a variety of imports. Actually, there are 2 gross meanings and 32 subtle meanings. Purport. The 2 gross meanings refer to regulative devotional service and spontaneous devotional service. There are also 32 subtle meanings. Under the heading of regulative devotional service, there are 16 meanings based on understanding the word Ātmārāma to mean 1. A servant of the Lord as his personal associate, 2. A personal friend, 3. Personal parents or similar superiors, 4. A personal beloved, and 5. A servant elevated by spiritual cultivation, 6. A friend by spiritual cultivation, 7. Parents and superior devotees by cultivation of devotional service, 8. A beloved wife or female friend by cultivation of devotional service, 9. A mature devotee as a servant, 10. A mature devotee as a friend, 11. A mature devotee as a parent and superior, 12. A mature devotee as a wife and beloved, 13. An immature devotee as a servant, 14. An immature devotee as a friend, 15. An immature devotee as a father or superior, and 16. An immature devotee as a beloved. Similarly, under the heading of spontaneous devotion, there are also 16 various associates. Therefore, the total number of devotees under the headings of regulated devotees and spontaneous devotees is 32.
Lord Caitanya is saying the different meanings based on regular devotional service and spontaneous devotional service.
Lord Caitanya is saying the different meanings under regular devotional service and spontaneous devotional service. Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 24, text 285.
আত্মা শব্দে কৃষ্ণের সকল অবতার। আত্মা শব্দে কহে সর্ববিধ ভগবান, এক স্বয়ং ভগবান আর ভগবান আখ্যান।
The word Atma refers to all the different personalities of Godhead. One of them is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself, Kṛṣṇa, and the others are different incarnations or expansions of Kṛṣṇa. Purport. The word Atma also includes all kinds of personalities known as Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This means that Kṛṣṇa has unlimited expansions. This is described in the Brahma Samhita 5.46. Viparchir eva hi dasantaram abhyupetya vipayate vivritte hetu samana dharma yastadrig eva hi cha vishnutaya vibhati govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. The expansions of Kṛṣṇa are thus compared to the candles that have been lit from an original candle. All the secondary candles are equally powerful, but the original candle is that from which all the others have been lit. Kṛṣṇa is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, and He is expanded as Balaram, Sankarshan, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, and Vasudev. In this way, there are innumerable incarnations and expansions who are also called Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Regarding the variety of personalities known as Bhagavan, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that the personality of Godhead known as Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that His expansions are also called the Personality of Godhead. In other words, Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the original of all other personalities of Godhead. Speculative philosophers and mystic yogis also meditate upon the form of Kṛṣṇa, but this form is not the form of the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a Bhagavan is but a partial representation of the Lord's full potency. Nonetheless, He also has to be understood to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. To clarify this matter, one should simply understand that Kṛṣṇa, the son of Nanda Mahārāja in Vrindavan, the friend of the cowherd boys and the lover of the gopis, is actually the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is attained by spontaneous love. Although His expansions are also called the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they are attained only by the execution of regulated devotional service.
Kṛṣṇa is attainable by spontaneous devotional service.
Kṛṣṇa is obtainable by spontaneous devotional service.
The other expansions are attainable by regulative devotional service.
And the other expansions are attainable by regulative devotional service. Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 24, text 286.
ষোলতম দেবীর ভক্ত, এক বিধি পূজক, দুই রাগযুক্ত ভক্ত। প্রেরণে যেই সেই সব আত্মারাম, বিধি ভক্ত রাগ ভক্ত দুই বিধ নাম।
One who always engages in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is called Ātmārāma. There are two types of Ātmārāmas. One is an Ātmārāma engaged in regular devotional service, and the other is an Ātmārāma engaged in spontaneous devotional service.
Kṛṣṇa in Vrindavan is worshipped by spontaneous devotional service.
Kṛṣṇa in Vrindavan is worshipped by spontaneous devotional service.
And His expansions are worshipped by regulative devotional service.
And His expansion are worshipped by regulative devotional service. Regulative. Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 24, text 287.
উভয়ের প্রত্যেকে চতুর্বিধ, এক নিত্য সিদ্ধ, দুই সাধন সিদ্ধ এবং তিন ও চার দ্বিবিধ সিদ্ধ। দুইবিধ ভক্ত হয় চারি চারি প্রকার পারিষদ সাধন সিদ্ধ সাধক গণ
Both the Ātmārāmas engaged in regulative devotional service and those engaged in spontaneous devotional service are further categorized in 4 groups. They are the eternal associates, the associates who have become perfect by devotional service, and those who are practicing devotional service and are called sadhakas, of whom there are 2 varieties. Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 24, text 288.
সর্বশুদ্ধ অষ্টপথ জাত অজাত পতি ভেদে সাধক দুই ভেদ বিধি রাগ মার্গে চারি চারি অষ্ট ভেদ
Those who are practicing devotional service are either mature or immature. Therefore, the sadhakas are of 2 types. Since the devotees execute either regulative devotional service or spontaneous devotional service, and there are 4 groups within these 2 divisions. Altogether, there are 8 varieties.
So Prabhupada mentioned that the devotees were all pure devotees.
Srila Prabhupada mentioned that his devotees were all pure devotees.
Some were ripe, some were unripe.
Some were ripe and some were unripe.
Like a mango may be ripe or unripe.
Like a mango, it may be ripe or unripe.
But even the unripe will eventually become ripe.
But even the unripe will eventually become ripe. Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 24, text 289.
বৈদিক ভক্তিতে যুক্ত চতুর্বিধ ভক্তের প্রত্যেকে চতুর্বিধ ভেদে সর্বশুদ্ধ স্বরূপ বিধি ভক্তে নিত্য সিদ্ধ পারিষদ দাস সখা গুরু কান্তাগণ চারিবিধ প্রকার
By executing regulative devotional service, one is elevated to the platform of an eternally perfect associate, such as a servant, friend, superior, or beloved woman. Each of these is of 4 varieties.
One gets elevated one of the primary rasas.
So one gets elevated in one of the primary rasas. Neutral, servitude, friendship,
parental, and
conjugal. Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 24, text 290.
সাধন সিদ্ধ দাস সখা গুরুকান্তাগণ জাতরতি সাধক ভক্ত চারিবিধ জন
Among those who have perfected themselves by devotional service, there are servants, friends, superiors, and beloved damsels. Similarly, there are 4 types of mature devotees.
By practicing sadhana bhakti, one can perfect him or herself.
So by practicing sadhana bhakti, one could perfect himself or herself.
Thus, there are 4 types.
And thus, there are 4 types. Caitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 24, text 291.
জাতরতি সাধক ভক্ত চারি প্রকার বিধি মার্গে ভক্তে ষোড়শ বেদ প্রচার
Within the category of regulative devotional service, there are also immature devotees. These are also of 4 varieties. Thus, in regulative devotional service, there are altogether 16 varieties.
Lord Caitanya is finding out each variety into 4 sub-varieties.
So Lord Chaitanya is writing out each variety into 4 separate categories. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 24, text 292.
রাগময়ী ভক্তি ও বৈদিক ভক্তির ন্যায় সর্বপ্রথম অতএব আত্মারাম 32 রাগমার্গে ছিল ষোড়শ বিভেদ গিরিমার্গে আত্মারামের 32 বিভেদ.
On the path of spontaneous devotional service, there are also 16 categories of devotees. Thus, there are 32 types of Ātmārāmas enjoying the Supreme Lord on these two paths.
Path of regulated devotional service and spontaneous devotional service.
The path of regulative devotional service and spontaneous devotional service.
It has 16 varieties, total of 32 varieties.
Each has 16 varieties, a total of 32 varieties. Caitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 24, text 293.
ইহাদের সহিত মুনি নির্গ্রন্থ চ ও অপি যুক্ত. মুনি নির্গ্রন্থ চ অপি চারি শব্দের অর্থ যাহা যেই লাগে তাহা করিয়ে সমর্থ.
When these 32 types of devotees are qualified with the words Muni, Nirgrantha, Cha, and Api, the meanings can be increased in different ways and very soundly elaborated upon.
Lord Caitanya uses different words, like many options.
Lord Chaitanya used these different words to make many options. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 24, text 294.
এই পর্যন্ত 58 প্রকার অর্থ. 32 মিলি 850 আর এক ভেদ শুনো অর্থের প্রকার.
When we add the 26 types of devotees to these 32, then they altogether number 58. You may now hear from me of further manifestations of meanings.
So, about 32 meanings, the previous 26 equals 58.
So about 32 meanings plus the previous 26 equals 58. The chapter is entitled as Ātmārāmas, Munis and Nirgranthas must engage in the service of the Lord under the section The 61 Explanations of the Ātmārāma verse.
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.